evening, everybody. This is a real pleasure to be able to introduce this year's George Wicken Student Achievement Award going to our student, Ryan Wyles, for his work in College Communications 1, or COMM 160, as a graduate, though, in the Addiction and Mental Health Worker program in the School of Community and Health Studies. You know, it's difficult to encapsulate what this fellow did for our communications course last winter. But as soon as you meet Ryan, you know what you're up against. Tough exterior, but compassionate innards. Make eye contact with them and it's immediate. Ryan's aura tells a story of survival and gratitude. And let me tell you, he both talks the talk and walks the walk. We know because we made him write essays to prove his points, and he couldn't just rely on his charm. The first weeks of every term can be disorienting, but when a student like Ryan shows a kind of determination, it's really part of his DNA. A student can post a 2-letter grade jump before the student exits the course. And Ryan turned things around. He never looked back. Here was a guy who always sat down in the front row, took copious notes, applied his trademark focus, and never let his teacher get away with an unanswered question. It was particularly impressive at the time, given he was a mature student pursuing a second career, so his every effort to improve not only himself, but also his peers via group work showed that special quality of resilience. You have to give him credit for his intrinsic motivation too, because he was punctual and organized for that one block of time every week in which we met on Ashton B campus. And brief, Ryan led by example with an outstanding memo. And Ryan was so supportive of his peers. And not only that, he was also a devoted dad at the same time. Like striking that balance between school, work, and family. Am I preaching to the choir here? This is not for the faint of heart. And with regard to school, Ryan showed he was a leader, yet humble enough to ask for clarification in class that mutually benefited everyone. Get to know Ryan, and you know he's a very personable guy who will also take one for the team. Like, for example, if he felt his group quiz had been compromised by his decisions on a final draft, he would inform me, and he'd want to go over the submission. Like a good class captain, Ryan took his classroom responsibilities seriously during lectures and always met his online obligations to provide peer feedback as well. On many occasions, we kept things light and had side conversations about great rock bands. You know, Ryan is a survivor of substance abuse and saw his return to school as a big test that would determine his career trajectory and next stage of life. He checked his pride at the door and sought help at the college, like learning computer applications so that his communication skills would be relevant and far-reaching. The man speaks from the heart always, and he has the courage to be vulnerable. When maybe the communities he grew up with had endorsed more traditional notions of masculinity. Ryan is the real deal, but at the end of the day, he also cherishes a good sense of humor. Yeah. Education has been his ticket to the good life that's in the service of others. So please, join me in congratulating Ryan Wyles.
Thank you, Mark. This is truly an incredible honor. Standing here tonight receiving the George Wicken Award, I can't help but feel overwhelmed with gratitude. And if I'm being totally honest, a little bit in disbelief. When I first heard I was receiving this award, my first thought was, are you sure? My second thought was, okay, this is big, now what? So I assume you double check the names before announcing this, and there's no mix-ups. Either you all have amazing taste, or someone lost a bet. Either way, I'm very grateful. I want to start by thanking my COMM 160 Professor Mark Yamaguchi for the nomination and this recognition. I know there were so many incredible individuals who could be standing here right now. So to be chosen means more to me than I can fully express. This award is a reflection of the people who have supported me, inspired me, and believed in me all along the way. The George Wicken Award represents excellence, dedication, innovation, and the belief that our efforts matter. It's a reminder that the work we do, whether seen or unseen, has an impact, and that's what I hope to continue doing. Making an impact, however big or small, in the spaces and communities I am fortunate enough to be a part of now. George Wicken was not just an English professor at Centennial College. He was a visionary educator who believed deeply in the transformative power of teaching. His innovative methods and unwavering dedication to student success set him apart as a beacon of excellence in education. George understood that teaching was not merely about imparting knowledge, but about inspiring a love for learning, critical thinking, and personal growth. The George Wicken Student Achievement Award celebrates students who enrich the classroom with their presence and contributions. This award underscores the holistic approach to education that George advocated, recognizing that each member of the college community plays a vital role in the collective pursuit of knowledge and growth. I stand here today because of the people who lifted me up when I needed it most. To my professors, which I didn't know who were going to be here today, good job, Vanessa, who have guided me with wisdom and patience, thank you. To my peers and colleagues who have challenged me to be better every day, thank you. To my friends and my family, my parents Rob and Linda, my partner Pam, and my son Liam, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, you have been my foundation, my strength, and my greatest supporters. Thank you. And to anyone who has ever reminded me, in big ways or small, that perseverance pays off. This award is not just a recognition of what I've done, but as motivation for what's still to come. There's always more to learn, more to give, and more ways to make a difference. And if I can do that while lifting others up along the way, then I know I'm on the right path. My journey before enrolling in Centennial College's AMHW program hasn't been a straight path. In fact, it was more like a poorly planned road trip with no GPS, a flat tire, and a couple of sketchy detours. Addiction had me stuck in a loop. Same mistakes, same regrets, same bad decisions, just a different day. It took hitting rock bottom and then realizing there was a basement under that rock before I finally decided to ask for help just 3 years ago. There have been challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt. There have been times when I questioned whether I was on the right path, whether I was making a difference, or whether I was good enough. But every time I faced those moments, I was reminded that meaningful work in my COMM 160, in my AMHW program, or in my personal life rarely comes without struggle. Recovery from the disease of addiction is not easy. In the beginning, I thought it meant just quitting substances, but it turned out I also had to quit lying to myself, quit making excuses, and quit thinking that I could do it all alone. And let me tell you, nothing humbles you faster than realizing that other people knew you needed help long before you did. And here's the thing, when you surround yourself with the right people, people who lift you up instead of weigh you down, you start to believe in yourself again. And that's what got me here today. I had mentors, friends, and family who saw something in me worth saving, even when I didn't. To those still struggling, I want you to know this. You are not your past. You are not your worst day. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are someone who is capable of change, deserving of love, and worthy of a second chance. Or in my case, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth. My parents, Linda and Rob, my partner Pam, and my son can attribute to that, those chances given to me. This award isn't about me. It's about everyone who believed in me, everyone who fought their own battles, and everyone who knows that recovery is possible, and you are never too old to learn and experience life genuinely. If my story can give someone hope, then every hard moment is worth it. Let us celebrate not only the recipients of the awards bearing George Wicken's name, but also the principles he stood for. May we all strive to inspire, challenge, and support each other in our educational journeys, just as George did. Through our efforts, we ensure that his legacy lives on, enriching the lives of all who pass through the halls of Centennial College. So thank you. Thank you for seeing me and for reminding me that even in my wildest dreams, I never imagined I'd be here. Mostly because back in the day, my dreams sometimes only involved staying alive past the age of 30. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I am deeply grateful, and I will carry this moment with me always. Thank you. Have a great evening.